Hey, it's Holden here with a wide receiver preview. Who do you take, DeAndre Hopkins or Davante Adams at the top of the list, or are we fading both? All right, before we get to that, thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If I make horrible mistakes, by all means, leave something in the comments. I love that. Maybe I'll reply, maybe I won't. Who knows what kind of mood I'm going to be in. So, if you're choosing between DeAndre Hopkins and Davante Adams, let's just go with this. DeAndre Hopkins in cash. Here's the pricing breakdown. It is Hopkins 8.2 on DK, Adams 7.9 on DK. It is Hopkins 9K on FanDuel. It is Adams 8.9 on FanDuel. So if you're really in a crunch for $1 or $2, a buck or two here, I think you're going to have to come down and let your decision-making go that way. Hopkins is number 3 in targets with 61, number 1 in air yards in the NFL with 347. Seattle, though, you know what? We think Seattle's just a sieve. They've allowed just 209 and 127 yards to wide receivers the past 2 weeks. But Thielen did score twice. Devontae Parker went over 100. No questions here. DeAndre Hopkins, the floor is there. And he can also take down a tournament too. Davante Adams in GPPs. Against Tampa Bay was a blowout. I thought he'd actually get more work. He did have 10 targets. That was nice. 6 catches, 61 yards against Tampa Bay. But, Houston 20th in DVOA against the pass. 9 touchdowns in 6 games. They allowed 2 to A.J. Brown. Here's what I'm thinking. I mean, when it comes down to it, salary, if you take salary out of it, it's Hopkins. If I have a couple $100 more, it's Hopkins. If I don't have the money, I'd probably go Adams at this point. But I think there's a universe where you can actually fade both guys and still pay up at wide receiver just a little bit. Let's go then with a cheaper player. Getting wacky with Terry McLaurin. This is not a very wacky pick, but I'm not feeling crazy this week. I promise you, next week there will be some wackiness to this program. Terry McLaurin going up against Dallas. McLaurin, 5'8", DraftKings. He is 7-1 on FanDuel. I really like him on DraftKings here. 19 targets in the last 2 weeks. Now, he hasn't really blown up, scored the touchdowns with Kyle Allen yet, but he's number 3 in air yards this year at 249, number 9 in touches. He owns the Washington football team receiving touch share, snap share, everything. And Dallas has allowed 11 touchdowns and 181 yards per game to wide receivers. I think McLaurin's going to be pretty popular in cash this week. And you're going, hey, man, what about paying up for DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett? Listen, both of these guys always in play. I just want to bring up Hopkins versus Adams. The play that I love this week is going to be Terry McLaurin. And if you're going with Seattle, I think it's fine if you want to stay with Lockett on one side, on PPR and DK, and then on FanDuel, DK Metcalf. He has the second most market share of air yards in the NFL, 45.2%. All right, that'll be the wide receivers. Check out tight end, quarterback, running back. Give me a thumbs up here. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Be on the lookout or listen out for my podcast. We got the Tuesday night pod that's dropping with Uncle T and G Rising called The Wishbone. Kind of look back at last week, looking forward to next week or this week, week 7, and also a Titletown and Rubio Dimes with me on the Young Guys podcast, the NFL Spread. Hey, thanks to Simon for making this all pretty and making this look nice. Simon, wonderful work. I'm Holden. Keep running pure.